In 2016, NASCAR implemented the playoffs into the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series. For better or for worse, this changed the outcome of many of the points battles in each series. Today we will take a look at what could have happened if NASCAR never put the playoff format in either of these divisions. Now, before I get into the video, I just want to say stage points will be included because stage points would have ended up coming into fruition anyway in 2017, so it doesn't really change the outcome of what could have happened. And I will be referring to the regular point system as the Winston Cup points because it's just a consistent points format through the whole year, and I will be calling the other points format the playoffs because it's the playoffs. Just want to make that clear. Anyway, here we go. Now, in 2016 in the Truck Series, William Byron kind of went on a tear. He was really solid all year. 7 wins. He was pretty good. But in a system that rewards winning, he was unable to make it to the Final Four. Now, the other 2 drivers who were pretty good all season long, Matt Crafton and Johnny Sauter. Now, the championship basically had to be decided by these 2 at Homestead because Timothy Peters and Christopher Bell, who were the other championship 4, they were kind of irrelevant all race, so it mainly came down to Crafton versus Sauter, and Sauter ended up winning his first championship. Now, in the Winston points format, it would have been the same outcome. Johnny Sauter would have won despite William Byron having 7 wins. He was very inconsistent, while Johnny Sauter was pretty darn consistent. So Johnny Sauter would have beat out William Byron by 3 points under the Winston Cup format. Now compare it to what actually happened. Matt Crafton certainly got a boost in this in the playoffs, and Daniel Hemrick kind of got screwed, but other than that, not much else really changed. In 2016, in the Xfinity Series, it was a year of basically 3 drivers, 3 regular series drivers winning, and all the other wins were basically Leach wins, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, those guys. So it basically came down to young up-and-comer Eric Jones, who was just lighting the world on fire, veteran Elliott Sadler, who still could not capture his first championship so far, and Daniel Suarez, who was also a up-and-comer. Not as good as Eric Jones, but he was on his way up. Now, what ended up happening ultimately was Daniel Suarez winning the championship after a late race caution kind of messed everything up, and Daniel Suarez basically just kind of cruised by and won. So Daniel Suarez won the regular, the playoff format. But who would win the championship if they stuck with the Winston points format? It would go to Elliott Sadler. Elliott Sadler, very consistent driver, but just never could get it done under this playoff format. He actually wins in the Winston points format. Now he wins over Daniel Suarez, but Eric Jones actually, despite getting 4 wins this season, he finished 5th. He was wildly inconsistent. Now compare it to what actually happened, not too much of a shakeup. The top 5 were still top 5, and it was pretty close to what actually happened. Except you see Blake Cook getting a huge boost in the Blake Cook and Ryan Reed actually getting a huge boost with the playoffs. And 2017 Trucks, this was a year basically between Bell and Sauter, but if it was strictly between the up and comers, it would have been between Bell and Briscoe. It was a very competitive year. Bell got the edge over Briscoe a lot, but they were I don't know if I want to say equally good, but they were pretty close. And then Sauter was also really good, but Bell would have ended up getting the championship under the playoff format, and he would have gotten the title in the Winston Cup format. So this is good because the deserving champion won the title. Always good to see that. And Sauter ended up second, and they were just miles ahead of the competition basically all year. Yeah. And then comparing to the actual results, Austin Cindric got a huge boost with the playoffs. Yeah, not too much else changed. 2017 Xfinity Series, William Byron, who just dominated the Truck Series last year, had moved up to the Xfinity Series. He was winning left and right, 5-win season, and the only challenger of him was really his teammate Elliott Sadler. I mean, he didn't get any wins, but he was really consistent. And William Byron would end up getting the championship in the playoff format. Without the playoff format, Elliott Sadler would have won back-to-back championships. It would have been really tight between him and William Byron, but no one else was really contending that season. And it was another year kind of dominated by the leeches. And comparing to like what actually happened, not too much changed. I mean, they would have been 1-2 anyway, so I mean, I don't know. It just a switcheroo, I guess. 2018 Trucks. This season was probably my favorite Truck season ever, and that's because it was between these two drivers. I don't know if I want to call him an underdog because he's really good, but Brett Moffitt, nobody expected him to do what he did that season. He won 6 races in Hattori racing equipment, which at the time was supposed to be dirt trash, or at least mid-tier. But it was him versus Johnny Sauter basically all year. Johnny Sauter had 6 wins. Brett Moffitt had 6 wins. It was going to come down to them in the championship. And Brett Moffitt ended up coming in clutch and giving Hattori Racing their first championship. But in the Winston Cup format, Johnny Sauter would have actually won, and he would have gone... No, this would be his second championship. But where it hurts Brett Moffitt is his team was a part-time team to start off the season, so he really wasn't supposed to win the championship or even contend for the championship at the beginning of the year. But about like Chicagoland, I want to say, that's when they were like, okay, we have got to dial in and say we're going for this championship, and that's exactly what they did. But the beginning of the season hurt them, and Johnny Sauter is the champion. Comparing to actual results, Johnny Sauter fell to 4th, which is quite a shame. Noah Gragson, very solid all year. Justin Haley got a huge boost in the playoffs. Stuart Friesen kind of got kicked back a little with the playoffs. Nothing else really changed though. In 2019, for the Xfinity Series, or I guess this is 2018. My bad. It was basically a domination between Christopher Bell and Justin Allgaier. Bell had 7 wins, Allgaier had 5, I want to say. So it was probably going to come down to them, right? No. It did not happen. Tyler Reddick came in clutch when he needed to and stole the championship away from Christopher Bell. Justin Allgaier didn't even make the Final 4. So, yeah. But in the Winston Cup format, Justin Allgaier would have won the title, and Christopher Bell, being the inconsistent lad he is, would have ended up in 5th. So, quite the shakeup. Tyler Reddick, the champion, would have ended up 6th. It would have been completely flip-flop. Justin Allgaier gets his first ever Xfinity Series championship. But comparing to what actually happened, I kind of already compared, but it would have been completely different. Yeah. 2019 Truck season. So this was a year where it could have gone to like 5 different drivers. There was Grant Enfinger. There was Brett Moffitt again. There was Johnny Sauter to an extent. He really wasn't that good. There was Austin Hill. There was Stuart Friesen. There was Ross Chastain. Yeah. They were the class of the field that year. They deserved to win. But it didn't happen. In a format that's supposed to reward winning, Matt Crafton wins the championship with 0 wins. Interesting, to say the least. But this would have been completely different. Under the Winston points, Brett Moffitt would have actually won the championship. Stuart Friesen would have been second, and Matt Crafton would have finished fifth. So comparing, Matt Crafton shouldn't have won this at all. Brett Moffitt, basically the best driver all year, arguably against like Stuart Friesen, and Austin Hill to an extent. But Austin Hill, he wasn't very consistent, so that's why he's lower in the points format, the Winston format anyway. So yeah, that changed a lot. And Xfinity Series 2019, if you remember, the big three basically dominated this entire year. Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell, and Cole Custer, 6 wins, 8 wins, 7 wins, 21 wins out of 33 races. That is insane. That is an insane amount of wins. Yeah, and it's safe to say one of these drivers was going to win the championship, right? For once, correct. Tyler Reddick wins the championship. Back-to-back, might I add. And in the Xfinity Series Winston points format, I guess, Christopher Bell would have actually won. He had a great season. I mean, this was a step up from his 2018 season. He probably would have locked it up. Actually, he would have locked it up at Phoenix. But yeah, rightfully so, these drivers, all top 3, way ahead of the competition. Now, comparing, Tyler Reddick would have just basically switched places with Christopher Bell, except Christopher Bell and Cole Custer would have swapped in this. But anyway, it was very close all season, basically, but Christopher Bell just pulled away by a little bit. 2020 Trucks, this was another season that it really could have gone to anybody. I mean, there were probably 5 or 6 championship contending drivers that could have won this championship. There was like Brett Moffitt, Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed, many more, Grant Enfinger. But it ended up going to Sheldon Creed at Phoenix after some crazy mess of a restart. That kind of screwed Brett Moffitt, but yeah. But in the Winston points format, Brett Moffitt would have actually got redemption and won the title. Back-to-back, might I add. He would have won 2 years in a row. So yeah, he's basically the class of the field at this point, but he only won by 6 points over Austin Hill. And if Austin Hill didn't have his mechanical issues at Martinsville, that could have been different. Sheldon Creed would have got 3rd, but comparing and contrasting, Austin Hill certainly gets a bump up. And everybody's, I mean, Grant Enfinger, he was not that consistent in the regular points format, but in the playoff format, Grant Enfinger got moved up basically. So did Zane Smith. But yeah, anyway, Xfinity Series 2020. This was a year just dominated by 2 drivers, Chase Briscoe and Austin Cindric. And in the end, Austin Cindric won the championship just like he did in real life in the Winston Cup format. So this really surprised me. Chase Briscoe was very inconsistent apparently, and he came in 4th in the points behind Gragson and Chastain. So yeah, Justin Haley kind of got moved up as well, but I mean, you can't really argue with this one a whole lot, except Justin Allgaier got significantly moved up because he went on a run in the playoffs like early, and that gave him a lot more points than he actually should have had. But yeah, not a lot of changes, except Ross Chastain kind of, he would have got moved up a lot. Anyway, thanks for watching. Put your thoughts on like if they should have kept the old points, if you like the playoffs. Just tell me what you think about the playoff format and everything in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you next time.